our
New
first
Year.
time seeing each other
Yes.
for the new year.
Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, our first show
Good
of
to
the
How are
see
you
year.
guys
everybody.
feeling about 2026?
Amazing.
I feel great about it.
I'm grateful for it, and
Yeah.
I'm feeling optimistic. Maybe, things will start to take a turn for the better.
It's feeling like a prosperous
Something
year.
like what?
For the better, people.
For the
Just
better.
human beings.
Yeah, for the better.
Like you
Yes.
finding a man, right?
That's in the works.
Yeah, that's in the
It's
work.
happening in
She
2026.
said for the better.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
Thank
happening
you.
for
Exactly.
sure.
For the
I'm
better.
praying for you.
Amen.
So, okay, so let me ask you this. What do you guys feel like because I feel like 2025 was a crazy year for everybody.
Absolutely.
What do you think is like the greatest lesson that you learned about yourself or within the realms of like relationships last year?
Well, I realized I'm very patient. Like my patience, they should change my name to Patience.
That's actually a really nice name.
Like seriously, I've been very, and I've learned to be graceful because a lot of us are coming from places where we didn't, elect to be in. Life happens. There's been a dysfunction and a disconnect for a very long time from parents to family to, your community. So there's been so much going on. So I've learned to give grace and just want to understand, and then meet you where you are and go from there. So I think for me, I've learned a lot of grace
Yeah.
and patience and understand it because not everyone gets it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone is trying to, find themselves. It's not the easiest thing to do if you're not around good energy and around good people who can help, redirect you when you're going astray. Some people really want to see you fail and fall because it makes them feel better about themselves. So if you're not in a good space, if you're not around good people, you're really going to be held back. There's going to be a hindrance in your growth and your productivity. So I've learned to just say, okay, what do you want? What's going on? Let me meet you where you are and see how I can, work with you or move with you from that point onwards. For me, that's what I've learned.
Nice.
Are you talking about everybody or are you talking about the men?
I'm talking about everybody in general.
Everybody.
Women are equally as confused as men are also confused, and I think it's because of societal disconnect. Like everyone is really just reacting versus trying to understand what's causing the
It's the
action.
inflated expectations. Like everybody's expectations are.
Out of control.
It's ridiculous to the point where people so busy trying to keep up with that than to just live life. And so we lack in the process of just living because we trying to
Listening
live
to,
up to it,
listening to understand.
It's a disconnect for sure.
There's no listening to understand. Everyone is in just listening to react, to respond, because it's become if I don't like something, then I have no accountability. It's more like I'm just, it's like the men are blaming the women are blaming the men. Then what really happens at the end of the day?
It's war.
Yeah, it's like the men are not seeing that, hey, the women are this way for a reason. What's that reason? And how can I, probably help change what's going on in my own space? You know what I mean? But you're like, oh, women don't take accountability. Have you understood accountability in the first place? Like, have you taken accountability of why women are not feeling the need to take accountability? I'm not saying that women are without fault. Of course, you have a bunch of them. But it's more like you don't understand what's going on. For you to know, like, hey, she's reacting. Because women are a product of the environment they're in. That's just bottom line. We will respond to the environment we are in. And if the men are not given a safe, encouraging, uplifting, positive environment, we are going to react to that and respond to that. And that's just what it is. Why are you smiling so hard, Chidi?
I agree.
You know what I've told you. It's so tiring, honestly. You know what I've shared with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm to the point where I feel like we just need to leave each other alone. Like, it's too much.
So you and Sophia gossip.
Yeah,
what did-
we
We
talk.
gossip
What
about
did,
you,
so what,
Chidi.
what did you tell
We gossip
Sophia?
about you.
What did you tell just Sophia?
That you're crazy.
Tell us.
That you're crazy.
I know.
No, it's exhausting, and I
It's
agree with you. It's
exhausting.
really exhausting, and
What?
that's why I'm saying.
And I want to disengage. Like, I've disengaged
Wait.
from it.
What is exhausting?
having to understand and having to
The
work-
gender war.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's exhausting.
But do you know what's different? Let me explain this. This is why I said 2025 helped me understand patience more and grace. Because if we say leave each other alone, we are also accepting the dysfunction whether we like to accept that or not. That was not the original design. That's not the
Right.
original way it's meant to be.
It's supposed
So
to be a
for me, as a follower of Christ and someone who's trying to do God's will, I cannot sit down and say, you know what, I'm just gonna live for myself and disengage and disconnect, which that's everybody's right, you know what I'm saying? And I told her when we talked, I said, no, do what makes you, what suits you, what you can handle, what you could do. But at the end of the day, I'm in an assignment, space where I'm carrying the will of God, my creator. And I have to sometimes remove myself and my emotions from the equation. Why? Because it's not like this men also want to be dysfunctional. They're just a product of the environment that we're in.
What happens, Sophia, when a person is stuck in a current and they are fighting to swim?
Something
Get
is
up.
going to have
What
to
happens?
intervene. Something is going to have to get in between them and the flow of the current.
What happens is the more you fight, the deeper you will sink, drown. You have to just flow.
If they
Release.
can, if they can
Sometimes
acknowledge
the more
that.
you persist, the more friction you create.
That's true. That's why some people drown, because they're panicking, they're scared, they're not really just relaxing and floating, right? But what has to happen? Because in that moment, there's fear, there's panic, there's lack of understanding, there's disconnect. There's so much going on in that same particular moment where they can't even connect to their brain to say, hey, I just need to calm down and I will not sink and I will not drown. But the panic, the fear of not knowing what's going to happen, you're only thinking of the worst case scenario. That's what keeps you in the panic. So something has to intervene to get you out of there. And I think that's what that's where the understanding for me
I
comes
think
in.
everybody should just go to their little corners, take a time out.
Yeah, timeout is
Leave each other
important.
alone, okay?
But do you know what's crazy, Josie? Even if you want to leave them alone, there's a biological necessity for your counterpart.
So you don't want to have
There's
you
a
don't
s-
want to have sex with no man.
Oh my days.
Like what? How are you gonna be able to cope?
It doesn't only come down to sex, Chidi.
I mean, sex is very important.
it's important. It is part of our innate function.
So when
But-
she says everybody just be to your tent, or Israel, everybody should go their way and stuff like that.
To your tent.
She
So
said, take a time out.
Yeah, take the time
You
out.
know,
How-
there's a
Take a
movement.
time
You know,
out.
there's a movement called "Men Go Their Own Way" or "Men Go
yeah,
Their."
you told me about that.
Yeah, there's like.
But how
there's
is
a
that? But how
movement.
is that really working out long term though? Like, I would love to talk to these women and see how that's really working
You
out.
mean the men?
No, like the women who are they're like, hell, we're not dealing with the men. We're gonna just do our own thing. And
No, I'm
the
saying
men.
This is
there's
one
a
of them.
movement with the men.
Oh,
that's it's called "Men Go Their Own Way."
I would love to see how that works out. Because
Sophia.
I don't see that being
Sophia.
practical.
Yeah, I've never heard
Sophia,
of that. I'm gonna have to look into that.
This is one of those men,
Actually,
one of those women who be like, just leave me alone. I want to
that's-
be on my
what
own.
are you talking about? I said it's a men's movement called "Men Go
Go
Their
the
Own
way.
Way."
Well, how is that really working out? I would love to hear from these men. Like, how is that working?
that's
As a
interesting.
man, right? As a man who's coming into, you're coming into your manhood, your masculinity, and you hear that men are trying to do this. What would you say to those men?
I mean, personally, I'm a deep thinker, so I kind of just made up in my mind what that is probably about. And it's probably a group of men encouraging each other to invest more into themselves, stay more focused in your manhood, because to answer the original question, I personally took the biggest lesson from 2025 is to put myself first. Because if I'm not strong or put together, nobody under me is. So going into 2026, man, go your own way is, to me, I hear to release, to be around other men who encourage you to be better, do better. Opportunity, resources. I hear male initiative. I hear uplifting programs. I hear summits. I hear that's what I hear when I hear men go your own way. It's not like a he-man woman haters club. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it sounds like something that's uplifting and supportive of men finding themselves and doing the work that we've all been talking about.
Yeah.
Coming into 2026, like, that's probably some powerful shit.
Well, a man actually told me about it, and he told me what I guess what the purpose is, it's a result of the gender war.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a direct response to the gender war.
so what's the
Where they're
objective?
feeling,
What's the objective? Go their
Right.
own way to what end? What's the objective? I mean, what did he tell? Okay, he didn't share that. Got you. I
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna have
know
to
if
Google
that's a
that.
positive thing per se. What his perspective, I support that
Yeah.
because if
That's it, then okay.
yeah, but if it's something,
else,
yeah, look into that because if it's negative, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, we have a biological function and a psychological function that requires the other energy. That's why there's masculine and feminine. If
So,
no, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, no,
Cut you off.
you're fine.
So, Men Go Their Own Way is an online anti-feminist and largely male separatist movement within the manosphere. It advocates for men to avoid marriage and committed relationships with women, arguing that modern society is heavily influenced by feminism and detrimental to men's self-improvement. While followers focus on self-worth, critics view the ideology as misogynistic.
I think it's I'm gonna go ahead and say it's demonic because it doesn't make sense. It's not practical because okay, I had a conversation the other day and I said, okay, what really gives men their value and what gives women value? Women find value in helping the men in their lives thrive. We find great value in that. When we know that we are part of your success, we are part of your greatness, we feel very we feel good about ourselves and our abilities to see you through that process. Well, for men, when they have acquired their wealth and their, financial sustainability, when they can take care of their family, their wives, or their children very well, they find great value in that. So at the end of the day, we are literally put here to help each other discover and attain your value. So if you're saying men go their own way and you're gonna go, what you're gonna do? You're gonna end up being with other men. Because I don't understand it. Because that's the only.
what that
No, I'm
sound
dead
like.
serious. You're going to end up being with other men who are harnessing feminine energy. Because that's what it's gonna boil down to. You cannot function in just masculinity all the time. You need that counter energy for it to be balanced. Our creator is a God of balance. There's a reason why he has two to make one. Because without the balance, you're going to feel deregulated. It is just proven scientifically, psychologically, biologically, all of that. So I don't understand why men, because when I say it's demonic, I feel like that's the enemy's agenda, to keep people out of their divine power, out of their essence.
Josie,
It sound like a cult.
what's
Yeah,
What's
right?
the experience for 2025?
So the greatest lesson that I learned in 2025, and it's about myself, it is that vision without structure drains me, but structure without vision bores me.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah, that's true.
And so I need both equally
Yes.
in whatever it is that I do.
Yes.
Whether it's in work, whether it's in my relationships, you know what I mean? Friendships, whatever. I need both equally. I need to feel inspired. And whatever it is that I do, I have to feel like the soul. Like if we have a friendship, it has to have meaning,
Substance.
substance.
Yes.
Right? But at the same time, it has to have structure and the way that we value and respect
Each other.
each other.
Yeah. It has to be mutual because I don't see, because I've been around, I'm an empath, I don't know if you guys know, but I connect with people's energy. Like I would literally get around you and I would know that you have a draining energy. You just like to take. You just like to, connect yourself, plug yourself up to people just to take. There are so many people out here like that. They go to who's popping, who's, making noise. They want to, they'll congratulate you, they will big you up because they want to plug themselves into you and start to siphon that energy. And when I get wind of that, I will literally keep you like at arm's length or further because at the end of the day, that's self-centered and that's that's not helping the other person. And for me, I think that's wonderful that you actually understand that. Yeah,
I get that. And that's in every aspect of life, whether it's work, even in the podcast, right? Like here with you guys. I love this. I enjoy it. It feels it inspires my creativity. at the same time, I have shared with Emma, hey, in terms of structure, we need to improve in these areas.
We talked about that too.
Balance is important.
Yeah,
it's
I told them.
very important. Yeah.
So that was the greatest lesson for me that I discovered about myself. And additionally, also, you always hear people say, stress can kill. And it's important to foster an environment of positivity, all the time. You hear it so much, it's cliche. But I really learned the importance of that in 2025. To where I got to a period where I was so stressed. Internally, I was so deregulated that it began to manifest
Yes.
physically
Yes.
in my appearance. In
Oh, yes.
everything.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, oh my God, I am literally killing
Yeah.
myself on a cellular
Yeah,
level.
but that's the process. Once you do, this is another reason why in relationships, when you're not with the right person, you get deregulated. You start to look. I hate to say, you start to look ugly.
Yes.
You start to look
lose
unhealthy.
yourself,
You start
bags
to
under
look.
the
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Bags under your eyes, dark circles, like because it is the process. Your cellular, the neurons and nutrients and the electrolyte. You're losing so much.
Not getting that
Absolutely.
balance
Toxins.
you're supposed to get from the opposite. You know what I'm
We
saying?
are energy based. I hope you guys. We
Yeah.
are energy based. We're
Yeah.
not just water
Yeah,
and
that-
blood.
that's
We
true.
are energy based, and if there's
My
no
cortisol levels were so high.
Yeah.
I said this to someone. I was like, you know what? I wonder how many years, just in 2025, I wonder how many years I've shed off of my lifespan as a result of my cortisol levels.
yeah, many. That's just the process. That's just the process. Like
Because
this is
that's
why
what
it's
happens
important.
for women. Like high cortisol levels, you're
Which-
literally diminishing
your lifespan.
Your lifespan.
No facts.
So, Juki, I have this question for you. How are you working on yourself, this year, 2026? Because you want to put yourself first, which is very, very essential, very important, because you can't give what you don't have. If you're lost, you can lead, right? And that's very important. I love what you said about working on yourself. So, how are you working on yourself this year, 2026?
And with that, at what point do you think that you can start treading on becoming a selfish person? Because putting yourself first essentially is saying, I need to be more selfish
In a positive way.
in a positive way.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I
I
think,
think-
it can be a fine line.
Yeah,
I
but
think-
what's the
I
fine
think-
line for you?
I think personally for me, finally deciding to be selfish is a thing. I've never really had the opportunity to. I've always been something for somebody. You know what I'm saying? I got nieces my age, so growing up, I raised them. We raised each other. You know what I'm saying? We was left in the house by ourselves to figure it out a lot of times. So that survival, those survival tactics that you gain in that space, with me being the oldest, I was always in charge of everything and everybody. So I never really had time to be selfish. So now as a grown man at 34 years old and looking back at my life and the things that I've done or wasn't able to do because I was taking care of this for somebody else, right? The main things that I'm doing now is saying no. Like I'm learning to get comfortable with saying like I can't do it, can't be there.
Was that what you said today? About 10 o'clock time?
Oh no, I did say no, but that was because it was already understood that I wasn't probably gonna be able to get here until 1 anyway.
Yeah.
But I did also say that if I had extra time that I would come early, which I tried my
Oh,
Yeah,
hardest to.
exactly.
No, I get you. But it goes into what I'm saying though, because it's like if I wasn't able to, and I was that same 2025, I would have tried my hardest to get here and then been rushing and then it's snowing outside.
And
And
betraying
then
yourself in the process.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just said, shedding. I'm shedding, trying to be something in everything for everybody else. When a part of me don't even know who I was at the time, and learning that now, it's like, okay, the things that I'm doing is literally walking into those places, back into my passion. I picked the Clippers back up. You
Yeah.
know, now I'm back into this podcast and motivation, influencing space again. You know what I'm saying? Back, just doing things for me. You know what I'm saying? Just staying focused and getting my life together, and not just for me, but for my child as well. Because when I was down, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't giving the money that I could. I wasn't spending the time that I could. I wasn't, I didn't have a place to go pick her up to spend weekends with, and all of those things. So I'm slowly but surely losing parts of myself, trying to keep catering to everybody and everything around me. And so, yeah, this year I am very selfish about myself. I
I have a follow-up question to that because, part of our identity is, the right way is also being compassionate, considerate, kind, or whatnot. How do you create that fine line, that balance, knowing that, let's say a family member you care about, or one of your nieces, right? They reach out to you, hey, bro, can you help me do something? And it's kind of infringing on something that you had already planned to do. Like, is there a time where you do compromise some, or you give it some, you know what, this is more important, it would help her, which is, I love her and I care about her, so I'm going to make a sacrifice? Are you still able to create that fine line if it comes to it?
Yeah, definitely, but that's situational.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's depending on the individual. Everybody not gonna get that type of energy
Facts.
from me. I've been betrayed by blood. We came out the same womb, so I don't even see people the same no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a total different. Not even gonna say a wall, because I'm not standoffish. I'm not rude. I'm not mean. I'm not. It's just certain things just don't get my energy no more. I don't respond to things that I don't feel deserve me. I just see myself in a higher light now. And so, not to like say, oh, them peasants down there, but it's like, yeah, my mindset is totally different.
But
So
you're still able to elect, okay, I'm going to do this because...
it's based upon reciprocation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
fair.
I'm going to pour into you at this point in my life because you've been pouring into me already.
Got you. That's
You know
fair.
what I mean? Like, I've learned that I've placed good energy and resources into the wrong people.
Places.
You know what I mean? And so it's like just learning to decipher people and really putting myself first. And that's just going based off of my critical thinking. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
important. No, that's important.
What about you, Gigi? What was your greatest lesson of
2025. I can't wait to hear this.
Right.
I can't wait.
2025.
Yes.
It was like a threshold year for me, right?
A what year?
Threshold
A threshold.
year
Okay.
for me, where I begin to see things different.
Like what? Give us an example.
Like what Josie said about stress,
Okay.
and what you said about meeting people,
Where they are.
where they are, and what GQ said about putting himself first. I began last year, 2025. I began to see ordinary things in an extraordinary way because I began to view them through grateful eyes. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely understand.
Now I see ordinary things become extraordinary for me because I see them through grateful eyes. I don't diminish anything anymore. I don't call anything ordinary anymore. Everything is a miracle.
That's good.
Being here is a miracle. You driving down here, you might think it's your car that got you here. No,
No,
baby.
I'm with
It's a
you.
miracle.
100%.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So what that means is I give thanks to God in all things,
Good, bad, and different.
in all circumstances. I give thanks to God for that girl that broke my heart into pieces.
Amen.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I give thanks
Nobody
to God.
break your heart.
I knew she was going to say something.
So I give thanks to God that, we are successful with this podcast. This podcast has become the biggest and the largest podcast. I am
Manifest.
grateful. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, what that means is I began to live in the moment. I don't think about yesterday. I don't stress. I go with the flow. I don't swim against the tide, just like you said.
current.
No, the current. I don't do that. Like, I have to take inspired action and put my trust in God and just go with the flow, no matter what happens. If at the end of the day, like, you come up with a very good excuse, you can make it down here, and GK had other engagement, and Josie, I will give thanks to God. I have overgrown the level where I begin to grumble and begin to say, oh, they are very stupid people, they disappoint me. No.
Oh, that's how you used to talk about us.
See,
coming
at
out.
least he's changing, right? At least he's growing out of
Yeah.
it.
No, the most important thing is, I'm no longer a caterpillar. Right
You're a
now,
butterfly.
I'm a butterfly.
There you
That's
go.
beautiful.
Yeah, so that's the most important thing. So 2025 was amazing, for real. And I will encourage you.
2025.
It was
tested
impactful.
me.
It was testing and
Tested
impactful.
me
Not
to my
amazing, Chidi. We need to
core.
find
No,
different
but
words.
what you have to understand is, brother, let me tell you something. The greatest year that you had the most trial is your best year, because it helped you to discover yourself. It helped you to
Absolutely.
say,
Ooh, what happened?
The biggest thing.
Ooh.
Another one.
I know,
Say that.
right?
When I tell you I am protected at the highest level,
Amen.
that's what I learned. Another thing that I learned. Like, I'm not just anybody.
No, you're not. I told
Yeah,
you
I can
this.
second that.
You
with
tell me
you.
that all the time.
All the time.
But I learned that for myself.
Amen. Aw.
I feel so sorry for anyone who may have ill intentions.
Oh, yeah, facts.
Because when I tell you I'm protected at the highest level, I mean that. And I can't believe that I didn't understand that sooner. But I think it took the things that I experienced and what I went through
Yep, it was.
to put that into perspective.
That's
Oh my
God's
God.
plan. And I like that you say that, because at the end of the day, I tell people this: none of us are here purposelessly. We are all here on purpose. No accidents, no coincidences, on purpose. Because in us, He created us to utilize us for something that will come back and glorify Him as the creator, right? And sometimes we lose sight of that because of life.
Yeah.
We lose sight of that because of people.
Responsibility.
Responsibilities,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
then again, when all of that is happening, the stress comes in, the depletion comes in,
The voices.
yeah.
The voices,
And this is
definitely.
why I tell everybody it's important to understand that when something was already naturally in you to begin with, don't betray that.
Yep. Just
Because
be who you
that
are.
change is not you being in control, it's someone stealing your control. It's something or someone coming in to distort your path, distort your greatness and your grace. Because at the end of the day, we are all wonderfully made for wonderful purposes.
Let me tell you another thing about 2025.
Amen.
Baby, I began to pray for Josie to find someone in 2026.
I can't tell.
I began to pray that Josie's heart be changed,
Amen.
be transformed. Because I think Josie is one of those women that thinks that men are shit.
I don't think all men are shit. What are you talking about?
Do you
I have no
understand?
reason
Do you
to
understand?
think
That's
that.
why she is single.
I can't.
Because you can tell me that now this is very, very suspicious. Like, it's weird to me. How could a beautiful
majority-
This is one of the most beautiful human being that I have ever met.
Amen.
How come she has not been able to connect with somebody wonderful out there? You know why? She's scared.
But she just told you she discovered that she's protected at the highest
She's on her
level.
journey.
So guess what? She's on that journey now.
Are you on the journey?
It's like let me get an update. Let me go ahead and get an
No,
update.
you know why I'm saying this? Because 2026, if
It just started.
Josie does not introduce me to somebody,
Oh, don't worry about that.
it's gonna be a problem.
That's why the discovery is happening, because there's the next stage. She got this. Don't worry about that.
GK, let me tell you something about this lady right here.
Why don't you start
The-
a matchmaking agency just for
no,
me?
no, no.
I
Let me
know,
tell you.
right?
Let me tell you something about this.
Oh,
lady.
we can.
For
That's
real.
a reality
Start
show.
with the
No,
I'm telling you, I'm
for
telling
real.
you.
Seriously.
This is real. Because I've known this wonderful person for quite a while now, for quite some time. And this is one of the most amazing, beautiful
Oh.
human being. Kind, compassionate, accommodating.
Amen.
Like,
He could write a book.
You hear me?
why is she single?
Because she just
Because she had to
told
do
you.
some
She's-
discovery.
Yeah.
She said she
She
finding
just
herself.
She just found
Stop
out.
reading too much. You're reading too much.
No, it's just 2026. It's time to pop it. That's all.
Yeah.
It's time to
Yeah,
live
I
in
believe-
our
I believe.
By the
authenticity.
way, my birthday was on Saturday.
Happy
if
belated
you guys
birthday.
want to give me anything, get me books.
Okay.
She wants to read more.
She wants to
I
read
wanna
more.
read more.
Okay.
She wants to read more. Oh, Chidi's gonna get you a book. How not to read too many books.
And
Written by him, by the way.
Right.
back to what we were saying about the disconnection between men and women. I think the missing piece right there is God.
No,
That's what I think. With what Josie said, man, I think the missing piece is God, for real.
I've come up with the conclusion. I'll tell you when you're done.
For real, because now we do things that the society projected towards us, make us to believe that this is the way we
not
should
godlike.
live.
No.
We sorry about that. Now there is a way, there is a truth,
Yeah.
and there is life, and that is God. Now, I don't know, no matter how you do it, you will find out that by wisdom, a house is built. Through understanding, it is established. And through knowledge, its rooms are filled with
Life.
precious and beautiful treasures.
Through life.
It's not by riches, it's not by
No.
handsomeness, it's by the truth. And what is the truth? What is the truth? That's the question. Because I study the Bible too. What is the truth? I began to understand that the truth is in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 to 25.
Which says, let us know. What does it say?
I mean,
Give us a summary. What does it say?
I can pull it up.
Pull it up. Let's do it.
Let me just pull it
While
up.
you're doing that.
While
No,
you're
no,
pulling it up.
no. I mean, it's not gonna take me time.
No, go ahead.
No,
Pull it
while
up.
you're pulling it up, I would say I think it boils down, the disconnect really truly boils down when you simplify it to fear and ego.
Yeah, ego should
Definitely
probably go
ego is in
before
fear. But I got a little bit more of an innate conclusion because I one thing about me is I pray for men because I know that men were put here to be the leaders of and to be the ones to extend humanity. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
So anything beyond this that I'm about to read, anything beyond this is all bullshit. For real. we're just playing.
Go
for
ahead.
real.
What does it say?
If you don't do this, it's not gonna work.
Okay.
You're pretending. Now, he said,
That's the
wives,
blueprint.
Ephesians chapter 5, 22 to 25. Listen carefully. And Justice should listen more.
I think you should look into the camera and read it. Yes.
If I look into the camera,
Talk to the people.
I can't read it. Okay, so what he says is this: wives, submit yourselves to your husband as you do to the Lord.
Facts. But can I say something though?
Hold on, I'm not done.
Ephesians 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Ephesians 5, chapter 20. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 to 25. Put it up.
No. I know where I'm going with this.
This
Go
is the
ahead.
problem we have right here.
No, it's not.
So you think that men are battling women? No, this is the problem, and this is the solution. This is
No,
the
it's
answer.
not.
So
Judy, I beg to differ.
wives,
I'll tell you why.
can I go on and read it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so it says, wives, submit yourselves to your husband as you do to the Lord. Now he goes on to say, verse 23 says, for the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, of which he is the Savior. Now this part is very interesting. He said, now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husband in everything. But the women want to pick and choose where they want
It's
to submit.
subjective.
Well,
No.
I don't think
No,
you
no,
can
no.
submit to just anybody. Obviously, it's who is he following? If
I'm
he's
glad you
following
said I'm
Christ,
glad you said wives.
Yeah, I was finna say
because you have
it's-
to elect the husband
Exactly.
to begin with. But
Yep.
go ahead. I got something for you, Chidi.
So for the husband, we have responsibilities too. It's not just the
No,
women.
but that comes first.
Now,
before
he says-
22.
No, husband is 25. Verse 25 is for husband. Now he says, husband, love your wives just as Christ loved the church
Okay.
and gave himself up for her to make her holy and cleansing.
So that's talking about married folks. Obviously,
Right,
you
right.
should
Exactly.
100% always submit to your husband.
100%,
Facts.
100%.
If not, then what's the point of making him?
But
your
do you
husband?
think relationship, those long-term relationships that we used to have before we get married, are they important? Are they necessary? The relationship? Is it not justice?
the courting
is it
process.
not justice? Calm kind
Yeah.
of like relationship, like
Oh,
long-term
relationships are a scam.
Yeah, like
100%.
100%, right?
Yeah.
What'd you say? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I said relationship is just like a scam to me because I'm talking about these long-term relationships.
No,
that
no.
don't like.
But here's the thing with that, right? Here's the thing, and I was having this conversation with a friend the other
Okay.
day. Like, I am the kind of person, when I look at like my life, in my experience, like we need to be friends first, right? Like, for me, it's important for us to be friends because I need to understand who you are. People meet within a month, 6 months, get married. Okay, great.
That's
it works for
amazing,
them.
yeah.
But for me, it is amazing. But for me, I need to take my time to learn you. Who are you when you're upset? Who are you when you're disappointed? Who are you when I tell you no and you don't get what you want all the time from me? Like, who are you? How do you navigate those situations? I need to learn those things about you before I can say we're gonna go all in and get married.
No, that's a fact.
Yeah.
I just posted the other day. I said how a woman reacts. Some women react when they don't get their way should be studied.
Absolutely.
Because for a man who's actively, well, not at the moment, but since we talking relationships, when
Yeah.
we get into a relationship, what we do is observe. And so the more we sit back and observe, and like you said, all of these different things you're looking for in that person,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's the same thing, vice versa, but I definitely need to see you in different seasons. You know what I'm saying? I need to see who you are when you angry, happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When
But it
when
doesn't
you
take
broke, when you up.
10 years either.
Exactly.
Oh no, it don't.
Yeah,
It don't.
that's
You-
true.
Literally a season.
Yeah,
a full
season.
year
Yeah.
will give you everything that
Yeah.
you need to know about a person. But in the first quarter is when they give you that representative. They want to give you who
Representative.
No, real talk.
No, that's
Yeah,
true.
real talk.
they want to give you the representative.
I think both parties do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. In
Yeah.
that first quarter, everybody comes as, oh, like
They
me,
say
like
90,
me,
90
like
days.
me.
It
That's
takes
true.
90 days.
Yeah, but then as soon as that cloak is gone,
Yep. There's
that's
a
when all the
science.
stuff start, all the arguments, all the attitudes. It's like it's hard for you to pretend to be who you was. But if you just genuinely show up as yourself as a friend, you know what I'm saying? Everybody starts off at ground zero. But no, everybody, like you said, what you said, ego and fear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody comes into it with
Yeah.
both.
Yes.
I don't want to be hurt, so I'm going to try to dominate the situation.
Yeah,
And
that's
9
true.
times out of 10,
Yeah.
since we talking about today's society, the roles are slowly but surely trying to switch because a lot of women are more masculine than the men.
That is a thing.
It's a real
That is a thing.
thing. That's the battle.
That is a
But
thing.
the battle is so deeply rooted that it's not just relationships. We have to look at it from a perspective of a very wide perspective.
Yeah.
We have to understand that things were implemented and put in place for us to be separated, for us to be into this gender war, the Willie Lynch letter.
This is orchestrated. This is
It's
not
ordained
coincidental.
for them. They made a plain. They made it plain. What they say, write it down, make it plain.
They
The
did.
Willie Lynch letter is that.
No, it's true.
You feel
It is
me?
not by accident. It
No,
was
they doing all
orchestrated.
this on purpose. So
Yeah.
this gender war that we have is so ridiculous because now instead of us allowing women to be feminine and not being as responsive and just mastering the ceremony like we supposed to, now we get in our feelings. And then now we meet y'all with attitude. And then it's just
It's a complete cycle of
it's
disconnect.
two rams trying to get their biased points to each other. It's like, I want you to love me like this. I want you to love me like this. you're incapable of loving me like this. You're incapable of loving me like this. Then why are we doing this?
Exactly. Why are we here?
Well, we don't understand each other.
Right,
and how
but that's
each
what I'm
other
saying.
Function.
In
It's
that
like,
friendship,
as a woman,
in that friendship, you would get that though.
I've caught myself at times expecting, like, my partner to respond how I would respond to something.
Yeah, I've been
Or,
there.
you know what I mean? Like, emotionally. But then it's like,
When they don't,
no,
you
he's
get
a
this.
completely
Yeah.
different being than you are biologically. He's wired differently. So you can't expect him
Yeah.
But now do you
to
see why?
process certain things the
You
same way
need
that
the
you
other.
It's a
And
balance.
If I don't get that,
Tell
then
me.
it's like I don't feel love.
See,
Yeah.
this
Or,
is exactly why we
but
need
we
the other.
have to understand before even needing one another. We have to
No, I'm not talking about in relationships.
understand.
As friends,
Yeah.
as family members,
Yeah.
this is why we need the counterpart to create that balance. If you have a mother and a father at home, as a child, you're going to learn how to be emotionally responsive, intelligent for the boys. And because they say between age 1 to 7, boys are closer to their moms
The mom.
because they have to learn emotional
And then from
intelligence.
7 on, they need
From
to
7 on,
be
they to the
their
dad.
cleave on to their
And
dads,
with
yeah.
with the females is from 1 to 5, they're closer to their dads. And they learn that logical way of thinking and also understanding masculine energy. And then they get closer to the mom. There's a reason why you need a 2-parent household.
Exactly.
And because we are very,
Can't spend too
we are
much
very
time around
lacking.
one or the
yeah,
other.
we are lacking that so much. Because
are.
that is innately lacking
Yeah.
in society today.
And then you
The-
pour
the
social
dysfunction-
media on top of it. Oh
the
my
dysfunction
God.
started from childhood. It's not from adulthood. And I like what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You said something that I've had a plethora of conversations about. When men reach out to me for advice, I tell men, stop trying to buy love.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to let women like you because of what you can do for them.
Yeah.
Just be friends, because when a woman knows that you're just a friend, she will show you her true colors.
Exactly.
Stop, even if you do like her.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm dead serious. This
Josie
is the
has
advice.
shown me her true
This
colors.
is the,
For real.
this is the advice I
Oh,
give men
God.
in my
God
practice
bless you.
all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, just tell her you like her energy, you like her character, you just want to be friends.
Yeah.
When she's not moving with expectations and she thinks that you're expecting her to be a certain way, she's going to show
She'll
you who
show
she
up as
really
herself.
is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is another thing that men
show
really
you
need
everything
to,
up
yeah,
front.
she will talk about
The
other women.
attitude, the betrayal, the disloyalty,
See,
the
between friends, right? Her
Yeah.
own friends and other men, how she's playing them, she's
Yeah.
using them, but
Yeah.
she's not realizing that,
that you
you're
observing.
taking notes.
Yeah,
and you're
that's
taking.
why. That's exactly why we should. Everybody should
wanna
start
come back
off
to
at
you
ground
today.
zero and
Just be
do
friends.
like
Just
Josie
be
said.
friends.
Because the truth is, like, okay, cool. If you did catch an attitude, I know how to handle your attitude because I'm your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like, I know how to walk with you versus catching an attitude and turn back around and going the other way. No, I'm gonna regulate my friend and tell her, hey.
Stop that. That's
Oh
not
my
it.
God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, we finna go get
because
some
that's-
drinks. We finna go have some fun, man. Forget all that. We
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
instead
exactly.
of
Yeah, that's true.
you
Now
always
you're
in your feelings
feelings.
about this nigga.
Uh-huh.
You always, why would I do that versus catering and nurturing my friend like I'm
Yep.
supposed to?
We
But
stop being friends.
the ego comes in at that point, and now you need to be like this, and you need to be like that. You need to. She
Expectations.
is who she is. I am who I am. Somebody just told me the other day, I gotta watch what I say to you because you sensitive. No, I'm not. I mean, sometimes. But the thing is certain things make me feel a certain type of way. If you don't have hair and I call you bald head, you're gonna feel some type of way, right?
Yeah, that's true. That, you're
Feel
right.
me? Like it's common sense. You know what I mean? Like
my days.
you can't say stuff or do stuff to people and expect for them to respond
Not the way you
how you
would.
want them
Yeah.
to respond. You feel me? Like you have to expect it. Okay, cool. Damn, that hurt his feelings or her feelings or whoever I'm talking to. I won't say that again.
Then you understand.
You know what I mean? But you have to do the trial and error and the friendship before you can even say, well, yeah, you can come on and we can be together because I like the way we vibe.
Yeah.
You
I like how we
reassure
resolve
me.
conflict.
You reassure me. You love on me. You cater to me. You care for me. You do this. You do that, and it's reciprocated. Okay, cool. We can go now to the next level.
Quick story time. A few years back, met this guy. Was at a restaurant with friends. Walked in. He, approached me. Whatever. Started dating.
Started dating.
We started dating.
Okay.
Yeah. Like getting to know each other.
I know, right?
Like getting to know each other, whatever. Don't start with your bullshit.
No, I just want to know if you had sex with him.
No,
during
but that's
the-
not
we didn't get
dating.
that. We didn't get that far.
That's
Okay.
just
That's not dating.
That's not dating.
Okay,
Okay.
so
That's hooking
no
up.
sex involved.
No.
So,
Right?
No.
No.
Like no
no, to
fucking.
this day, no.
Nothing like that. No,
No.
fucking.
No.
Okay, cool.
So,
Go on.
So,
God.
for me, like I've always had, and maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but I'm gonna say it. My strategy since I was like in high school, right? When I was in high school, if a boy liked me, and it was honest, I would immediately, like first week, tell him that I'm a virgin and I'm waiting for marriage, just to see their intention.
Yeah,
what their
yeah,
intention is. Because what he does after that is going to tell me everything that I need
Need to know about his
and
character.
so even in adulthood, I kind of still, had that same strategy.
I
So met
still
this
am
guy, and we're getting to know each other. It had been like a few months, and I told him like, hey, like I am abstaining at this time because I kind of feel like it was kind of leading to that. By this time, he had like flown me out to see him in his cities or whatever.
But that was his strategy, right?
Huh?
Not that you were abstaining.
No,
that was
th-
just something you
That's
put
how
out
she.
there.
No, that's how she feels.
No, that's how I feel. It
Okay.
was the truth.
Oh, it was the
It
truth.
was
Yes.
the truth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure he was
Aware of it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I
And
got
at
you.
one point, he had a wedding, a friend's wedding in Jamaica. He invited me, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not comfortable flying to this romantic island with you, knowing you're ready for certain things, and I'm not."
Yeah.
So I didn't go.
That's
Right?
good.
And so
good.
I'm observing him. I'm
Yeah.
just observing. I'm seeing he's having a really hard time with me telling him no. But I'm observing. I'm getting to know him. And I had a dream one night randomly where it's like I was at his house. We're together. We're having an argument. And he called me the B word. When he called me the B word, his mom was there.
In the dream.
In the dream.
Okay,
Yeah, that was
okay.
And
his
she
dream.
just
Yeah.
sounded hilarious. She was like, ha, 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 ha. She was laughing.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And I called my mom and I said, Mom, what do you think? Like, this is the dream that I have. What do you think? Because at this point, I had told my mom about him, you know. She said, well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And coupling that with some of his behaviors around me telling him no, I said, okay, I think I have enough information to, kind of take a step back.
Yeah.
And so I did. But we stayed friends. At first, he kind of like stopped talking to me, but then he came back around. We're friends. And now that we're friends, we're like a year in, just friendship. And now I'm hearing more about his past relationships and his ex and how he's the kind of person. So he's telling me a story one time about something that happened with his ex. And he said, I told her, bitch.
You were
There
like,
you go.
there was my.
There we go.
That was
go
that
the
flag.
dream.
Yep, that
There
was that
my
dream.
Everything was confirmed. And then it went to finding out that his mom really like cuddles him. He can't do no wrong with his mom.
Well.
You
Thank
know,
God
it's,
for
it's
dreams.
almost like he's her husband in a weird way
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
No, I know-
That's
I know
a
that
real
dynamic.
thing,
And it's
too.
like,
That's
had
a
I-
real thing.
I
Yeah,
know the
that's a real thing.
dynamic. I
it's
know
like,
it.
Had I jumped in
Yeah.
head first and not
You-
paid
you would have
attention to
been
my
that girl.
intuition, I would have been that
That girl, yeah.
Who was the minute he gets
No,
mad, I'm all
you would have
kind
been
of-
in front of his mama and she
She
would have been laughing
yep.
because
I
it
would
would have
have been all
happened.
kind of B word. And for me, once you call me that, there's no coming back from
Yeah.
that.
No, absolutely not.
That is unforgivable.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgive
that's
you, but I'm
definitely
not-
Yeah,
That's
I'll
something.
forgive
That is
you. I'm saying as
unacceptable.
far as staying
Yeah,
in the relationship,
unacceptable.
it's not possible.
At
You
all.
can't be with me and call
After
me
no,
that.
that's
That's
absolutely
just blatant disrespect.
Once
You know what I'm saying?
Cross that
For me,
line,
Blatant
not,
disrespect.
For me, not even for her, but for yourself
Blatant
as an adult.
disrespect, yeah.
Like if you
Blatant
talk like
disrespect.
that to
Once you cross that line,
someone,
there's no
how do you
coming back.
expect
Look,
love
I've
to-
dealt with
What,
that
the
too.
B word?
I
Big-
dealt
the
with
B
that
word.
too.
Okay.
Once
I
you
dealt with
cross
that
that
too.
line,
I got a
because-
story to match that when you're done.
Yeah, because for me, no matter how angry or upset I get, there
Yeah.
are certain lines I'm never gonna cross with you.
Not
No.
once.
I don't care how emotional I am, I have limits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Had I jumped in head first, I would have been in hot water. And it,
boiling water.
boiling, hot, boiling water.
Water.
Yeah.
But because I took my time and we're still friends to this day, and I've learned so,
So
much.
much.
I'm like, God,
Thank you.
Yeah.
You spared me. And I've told him this too. I said, God spared me.
But do you know why? It's because you were in your essence. You were actually thinking ahead of
Before you jumped
were
head
trying
in,
to
yeah.
feel the connection. You were trying to feel like if this is a good match, alignment. You were trying to feel if you guys were aligned. And when you were not getting that dream was just to help you not waste further time.
But the problem I have with this story is she found these signs, these sparks here and there about this guy. And she continued to, kind of
Befriend him.
go on a date, have dinner. The guy spending money on her.
Befriend
But
him.
that's not what happened.
They stayed friends.
We just stayed friends. That's it.
They were not dating anymore.
Yeah. I stopped everything. And we just remained friends. And I told you at first he stopped talking to me.
He cut her off.
He cut me off.
Okay, so that's
Because he
cool.
was in his
It wasn't-
feelings.
Yeah.
Give me a story, brother.
No, I was just gonna say a similar story. It's crazy. My ex that we've broke down plenty segments about. One time
Just go back. Just go back.
man, you
home.
got me.
Nah, I can feel his energy. It's not even gonna. It's not
Listen.
healthy. It's not.
One time she did call me a bitch,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
But it was like in.
Anger.
I mean, I guess the context of the conversation was just like I had said something that I guess offended her, and her go-to thing was to be like, "Bitch, stop playing with me."
Oh.
Now, that is a conditioned response because she's used to dealing with men who talk to her like that.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
then it became they talk to each other
Just like
that. And so
gonna
meeting
ask.
me and some of the things that she would do, she would always check herself at first. But this one day she didn't check herself. She just let it ride. And I looked at her and was like,
Who you talking
I
to?
didn't say nothing. I let a couple seconds go by because I had to,
Process that.
I said, what you just said? She was like, oh, my bad. Let me guess. You one of them sensitive. I said, this ain't got nothing to do with sensitivity. This is about respect. I have millions of reasons to call you out your name, and I don't. So I just expect for you not to speak to
Courtesy.
me like that. So every chance she got when she was about to, or she'll say something, boy, I almost called you out your name. Let me tell you something. It's only gonna be so many times you're gonna say that to me, and then you're not gonna have nobody to call out their
No
name.
name.
But you
And
see,
because I responded like that, it kind of shook her up and threw her off because she also told me at some point was like, you just so calm. You just so, yeah, because I've been here before. I've experienced this, and now I know that this is a conditioned
Response.
no. This is a conditioned relationship status that I have in my mind. I feel like, or felt like, that banter was okay. And in reality, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
but did you also see, in addition to add insult to injury, the gaslighting? You so sensitive, as opposed to, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I didn't-
You know
But
what
see,
that-
I didn't pay attention to those things at all. I was
Yeah.
just so stuck in the conditional dating. Like, I got my own needs and wants and stuff. So it's like I would overlook certain things or try to work through certain things or whatever. Like you said, when you noticed that, you wasn't deep in. You hadn't crossed the threshold. I was already knee deep in the threshold. I'm pumping gas and opening doors at this point. You feel me? Which ain't a problem, but I was doing that to somebody who don't deserve that.
Yeah. That's that
She
part.
deserved to open her own door.
Woo!
You feel me?
There's that part.
Pump her own gas
Oh my days.
to keep it a buck. But because I'm not one of those evil people, my energy is amazing. And I've learned that. I've had a million people tell me that, but this is something that I didn't believe in myself at one point. But going over that threshold and learning these things, respect is a bare minimum.
That's the
You
bare
shouldn't
minimum.
have to beg nobody to respect you. You know what I mean? Like, off the strength that you had a dream like that and it actually happened to me, like,
That's why I
that
keep
says a
telling
lot
her,
about the people. It
she's
says a
not
lot about the
regular.
people. And so the fact that you caught it way ahead of time, you know what I'm saying? That was beautiful. But me living in it in real time, like, now, granted, I was raised by men who would have slapped the bug out of her. And I mean that. She'd have been lifted off her feet on a wall
Shook.
by the men who
Shook up.
raised me.
Yeah.
But I also took myself out of that environment and I wanted something different.
Different.
So
Yeah.
greeting this situation,
Kudos.
I said, yeah, that's my cue. That was the beginning of
Kudos
that.
to you.
I'm about to move around
Yeah.
because it's like I shouldn't have to ask you to respect me.
Yeah.
I'm in here. I'm helping you with your career, with your son. We at the hospital every week. I don't get to see my daughter as often because I'm up your ass.
Trying to show up for you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So be friends. Be
Be-
friends.
Be
Be friends,
friends.
that's
Because
it.
if had I
Observe.
had I chose to sit back and observe the woman
Yeah.
versus being so like lustful and so
Quick to get into a
you know what I
relationship.
mean? Like quick to want to be Captain Save a
For
Hole.
her.
Always want to be there and be the man for the woman, but not realizing
No.
a lot of these women built this life for themselves. And then they looking for somebody like me to come and save them from the life that they've endured.
Sometimes they don't even know that they
I
don't-
know, but
Yeah.
most of them do, and they purposely out here trying to find somebody to save them.
That's
and I
right.
was almost one of them guys
That was-
until I just had a epiphany.
Oh, another thing that I learned, but this is not last year. This is actually a few years back, because I used to allow people to. I used to, not allow myself to change because of what people would do or how people would come in my space. So I would react to that and change who I was.
Yeah.
So a few years
Chameleon.
back, about 5 or so years, I realized that wait a minute. That's making me very susceptible to not being authentic to who I am. So I started not responding to them, but I started responding to me and how I felt about it. And if you're not, like you said, if you're not showing up the way that I know you should show up with the bare minimum of respect, you call me out my name, that's a dismissal, automatic dismissal. But I'm not going to be hateful.
Right.
I'm not going to be angry at you.
Right.
I'ma
I'm
holler
just
at
going to
you.
be like, deuces.
I'ma holler at
Yeah, we're just
But
not aligned.
I still stay kind, caring, because that's
exactly.
what a lot of people have changed.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been betrayed by so many people. Now I'm going to be a betrayer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So to me, I
I'm
feel
gonna get
like
them before they get
get
me.
yeah, that's not being
I
authentic.
actually know somebody
Yeah.
like
Me
that.
too. I
That's
know
not
plenty.
being authentic
Yeah.
to yourself.
Plenty.
To me, I feel like that's you losing your
Yeah, too
control.
guarded. You too
You
guarded.
become a product of someone else's, dysfunction, and now you're dysfunctional. Like a lady I was, doing a counseling session with, right? So she married a
nice.
guy who was cheating on her, right? But she would never have cheated. And this guy cheated on her with 3 people. Now she became a cheater. And I asked her, I said, why'd you do it? Because I wanted to show him that I can also be with somebody else, or somebody else is going to want me. I'm like, now you have carried the stigma of, you're married, you're not dating, you're married. Now you've carried the stigma of an adulterer because of this adulterer that you were with in your marriage. So to me, it's like, do you see how you have lost control? You have lost some
a
of your
piece of yourself,
value,
yeah.
so a piece of yourself, because you are actually reflecting someone else's dysfunction. That was never you to begin with. But if you had stayed authentic to yourself, you would have divorced him, left him, because you want to stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
You would not go and join him in the disconnect to prove a point according to his demons. Like, I think we got to like really stay in our, in our essence sometimes, because a lot of times people will change because of other people.
Yeah.
That's them getting control over you,
Yeah.
and not you being in control.
Can you pull up that video real quick?
Yes. So I